Bogus skydiving instructor jailed for lying about qualifications at California school that saw 28 deaths. Houthis send email alert to Red Sea ships as prepare for attack with best regards. Most players prefer single-player games, new study claims. Bogus skydiving instructor jailed for lying about qualifications at California school that saw 28 deaths. Houthis send email alert to Red Sea ships as prepare for attack with best regards. Most players prefer single-player games, new study claims.
North Korea's Kim calls Yoon puppet, threatens to nuke Seoul if attacked. In the U.S., Democrats suspect Netanyahu attempting to tilt Trump versus Harris race. Research suggests original art elicits 10x the emotion of prints. WikiLeaks' Julian Assange says he pleaded guilty to journalism in order to be freed. Weight Watchers CEO suddenly quits after push to embrace weight loss drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy. Venezuela's President Nicolás Maduro declares Christmas to begin in October.
In Chile's desert, racers wreak havoc on ancient art. Study of slap fighting reveals signs of brain injury in 78% of participants. Europe's Space Agency will destroy a brand new satellite in 2027, just to see what happens. NHS England proposes phased rollout for Eli Lilly's star obesity drug, Mounjaro. In the UK, surgeon used Swiss Army knife to cut patient open as he couldn't find clean scalpel. Reportedly, England's HIV diagnoses hit 15 years high, after surge of cases among migrants coming in.
California becomes first state to ban sell-by and best before labels to reduce food waste. Biden administration restores pre-Trump farm worker protections from pesticides. Biden exempts some semiconductor factories from environmental reviews.
Biden administration restores pre-Trump farm worker protections from pesticides. In the U.S., Supreme Court declines to block Biden rules on planet-warming methane and toxic mercury emissions. EU fishing and farming deals with Morocco failed to include Western Sahara's consent, top court says.
FDA approves first new class of schizophrenia treatment in more than 30 years. Long-term exercisers have healthier belly fat. Trump campaign says it backs universal IVF access, potentially opening the door for gay couples.
OpenAI raises $6.6 billion and is now valued at $157 billion. OpenAI backer Khosla says it's reasonable to invest trillions in AI. Black Forest Labs, the startup behind Grok's image generator, releases an API. Meta unveils AI video generator, taking on OpenAI and Google. Parents will have to set aside some earnings for child influencers under new California laws. Songs by Adele, Bob Dylan, Green Day, many more blocked by YouTube in legal dispute. Amazon in talks with Brian Williams to host election night special. Churchill's Monet restored after many years of cigar smoke and goes on show in Courtauld blockbuster. Joaquin Phoenix sparks Hollywood outrage after dropping out of movie last minute. Producers discuss lawsuit. Recently, James McAvoy claims Joaquin Phoenix dropped out of Thriller Split 2 weeks before filming. Disney officially launches password sharing crackdown with page sharing program.
Scientists map fruit fly brain in neurobiological milestone. PhD studies hurt mental health, but less than previously feared. Nearly 50% of researchers quit science within a decade. Huge study reveals.
Not one but two asteroids might have ended the age of dinosaurs, as scientists discover a 5 miles wide undersea crater created as the dinosaurs disappeared, where the 5 miles asteroid impact crater below Atlantic captured in exquisite detail by seismic data. And agriculture began 66 million years ago, in the aftermath of the asteroid that doomed the dinosaurs, says a study.
Kids missed out on learning to swim during pandemic, widening racial and ethnic disparities. Trauma at life's beginning can mar its end, study finds. Scientists identify brain signal disruptions behind voices in schizophrenia.
Ultra-processed foods account for nearly half of calories eaten by UK toddlers, study finds. Adult dietary patterns with increased bean consumption are associated with greater overall shortfall nutrient intakes, lower added sugar, improved weight-related outcomes, and better diet quality. Cellular agriculture research manages to culture pork fat tissue on rye protein scaffolds.
Dental benefits of adding fluoride to water may have declined, study finds. Study ties diabetes and obesity to increased risk of liver cancer relapse, as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and diabetes mellitus as growing etiologies of hepatocellular carcinoma. Rheumatoid arthritis tied to heavy economic and human burdens.
More than 800 monkeypox deaths recorded across Africa. Bavarian Nordic's mpox shot shows antibody responses wane after 6 to 12 months, as per a study. CDC says mpox vaccine boosters aren't needed in the U.S. as questions emerge around waning immunity. This season's flu vaccine cuts risk of hospitalization by almost 35%, finds report.
A team from the IBM-CP has developed a technique that multiplies the beta-carotene content in plant leaves, as super golden lettuce richer in vitamin A. In the US reportedly, government scientists faked images published in Alzheimer's research papers. 63% of Gen Z respondents say they prefer video games to movies.
Pollen allergies drove woolly mammoths to extinction, study claims. Bronze Age Chinese cheese found next to mummies is world's most ancient at 3,600 years old. A new study has linked traffic noise and pollution to infertility, but the effects differed for men and women. Physicists find evidence of negative time in photons. At CERN, the Na-62 experiment observes the very first ultra-rare particle decay of kaon. Researchers build a fully edible transistor using tooth whitening pigments found in toothpaste.
All planetary boundaries mapped out for the first time, 6 of 9 crossed. Discovery of 3,775 years old preserved log supports wood vaulting as a climate solution, as ancient buried log offers evidence of biomass vaults as cheap way to store climate-warming carbon. Astronomers spot a possible future Earth, 8 billion years into its future. Dogs' brains sync with ours when we gaze into their eyes. Study finds mathematicians discover new universal class of shapes to explain complex biological forms. Photosynthetic light requirement near the theoretical minimum detected in Arctic microalgae. Accenture to train 30,000 staff on NVIDIA AI tech in blockbuster deal. Metasmart glasses can be used to dox anyone in seconds. Study finds judge blocks California's new AI law in case over Kamala Harris deepfake. FFmpeg 7.1 released with VVC decoder promoted to stable, Vulkan H.264 and H.265 encode. Udemy gave instructors just 3 weeks to opt out of AI training. Liquid announces the first series of Liquid Foundation models, LFMs, a new generation of generative AI models that achieve state-of-the-art performance at every scale, while maintaining a smaller memory footprint and more efficient inference, focusing on different modalities and hardware requirements.
Raspberry Pi's AI camera on sale now at $70, with 12-megapixel Sony IMX500 intelligent vision sensor. China urges local companies to stay away from NVIDIA's chips, and Reuters reports that ByteDance plans new AI model trained with Huawei chips, sources say. SoftBank rises on possible $500 million investment in OpenAI. Bloomberg reports that ARM is rebuffed by Intel after inquiring about buying product unit. Fidelity has cut its estimate of excess value by 79% since Musk's purchase. Malaysia plans national cloud policy, AI regulations, as at Google data center launch, Anwar says Malaysia to have national cloud policy.
OpenAI announces on the October 1st Dev Day, real-time API to build fast speech-to-speech experiences into their applications. Vision fine-tuning to fine-tune GPT-4o with images and text to improve vision capabilities, prompt caching to get automatic discounts on inputs that the model has recently seen, and distillation to fine-tune a cost-efficient model with the outputs of a large frontier model. Gemini Nano is now available on Android via experimental access. Microsoft delivers new Copilot Plus AI PC features with Windows 11's 2024 update.
DeepMind and BioNTech build AI lab assistants for scientific research. Oracle to invest $6.5 billion in AI and cloud infrastructure in Malaysia. Meta says it will expand production of mixed reality headsets in Vietnam.
Gmail rolling out Gemini-powered contextual smart replies. Google's Notebook LM can now transform YouTube videos into study guides. Google DeepMind opens up Alpha Chip, letting researchers train AI on custom chip designs.
AI startups generate money faster than past hype tech companies. AI startup Hugging Face reaches 1 million downloadable AI models. Palantir and Dell set to join S&P 500. Consultant fined $6 million for using AI to fake Biden's voice in robocalls. Mark Zuckerberg says creators and publishers overestimate the value of their work for training AI. Google reportedly spent $2.7 billion to rehire Character.ai founder.
London's historic Evening Standard newspaper plans to revive acerbic art critic Brian Sewell in AI form as it stops daily presses and fires journalists. Avatar director James Cameron joins Stability AI board of directors, says he wants to incorporate AI into VFX industry. Over 100 companies sign EU AI Pact pledges to drive trustworthy and safe AI development. Mark Zuckerberg says Europe needs more consistent AI regulation, and even his privacy nemesis agrees.
Meta unveils Orion AR glasses with cheaper Quest headset and AI upgrades. Google Photos rolling out video editor redesign with AI presets. AI-generated malware found in the wild. Researchers develop AI that can beat CAPTCHA tests 100% of the time.
Microsoft's new AI tool wants to find and fix AI-generated text that's factually wrong. As Microsoft claims its new tool can correct AI hallucinations, but experts advise caution. Weekly London Standard launches with AI of Keir Starmer front page. Hacker plants false memories in ChatGPT to steal user data in perpetuity.
Facebook seeks to attract young adults with new community video features. Meta must limit data use for targeted advertising. Top EU court rules. Meta is uniting the revenue streams, which it has used to pay more than 4 million creators. In the U.S., Justice Department disrupts Russian intelligence spear phishing efforts, as Department of Justice and Microsoft seize 107 internet domains. Dutch government blames a state actor for hacking a police network. Wall Street Journal reports, U.S. wiretap systems targeted in China-linked hack.
Apple releases macOS Sequoia 1.5.0.1 with bug fixes. Apple releases iOS 1.8.0.1 with touch screen bug fix and others. Apple releases watchOS 1.0.1 with fix for battery drain and touchscreen issues. Apple may bring a guest mode to your iPhone, helping to protect its secrets. Google adds new Pixel security features to block 2G exploits and baseband attacks. Texas sues TikTok, alleging it's selling children's personal data. Telegram confirms it gave U.S. user data to the cops, as Telegram has been disclosing user IPs since 2018, Durov says. Australian court upholds order for Musk's ex to pay $418,000 fine over anti-child abuse probe.
Microsoft announces to employees, you can continue working from home unless productivity drops. Amazon could cut 14,000 managers soon and save $3 billion a year, according to Morgan Stanley. World Wide Web Foundation to shut down after 15 years.
New Perftal malware targets Linux servers for cryptocurrency mining and proxy jacking. North Korean hackers using new Veil shell backdoor in stealthy cyber attacks. Cloudflare blocks largest recorded DDoS attack peaking at 3.8 Tbps. China unveils lunar spacesuit for crewed moon mission. NASA's Webb telescope discovers early galaxy with odd light signature. Iran launches new research satellite Shamran-1 into orbit.
Google wins lawsuit against scammers who weaponize DMCA takedowns. Reddit policy changes make site-wide protests nearly impossible. Verizon says network issues are resolved after a wave of outage reports. Microsoft discontinues HoloLens 2, support to end in 2027 with no successor in sight. Microsoft brings AI-powered overviews to Bing. And Microsoft starts paying publishers for content surfaced by Copilot. Animated Robin origin story dynamic duo set at DC Studios, featuring Dick Grayson and Jason Todd.
Valve's new multiplayer game Deadlock lets you turn cheaters into a frog. You can finally play as Princess Zelda in the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom game. Nintendo to go in different direction to current AI trends, says Miyamoto.
Google restricts creation of new accounts in Russia, news agencies report. Irish Data Protection Commission fines Meta, Ireland, €91 million as it stored certain passwords of social media users in plaintext. Trump calls for prosecution of Google over search results he says favor Harris.
It has been commented as AI spatial computing to be the main selling point for new M5-powered Vision Pro, new Apple suppliers like Huawei and Focus. China, South Korea, Taiwan to spend most on chip equipment 2025 through 2027, industry body says.
Discord opens activities, in-app games and features to all developers, and Discord reportedly reduced web traffic by adopting standard and passive sessions v2. Tor project and Tails OS have merged. Millions of Kia vehicles were vulnerable to remote attacks with just a license plate number.
Google complains to EU over Microsoft Cloud practices. OpenAI training data to be inspected in authors' copyright cases. Blackstone confirms $13 billion investment in Britain for AI data center.
Winamp releases source code, asks for help modernizing the player. Mozilla accused of tracking users in Firefox without consent. Meta's Llama 3.2 launches with vision to rival OpenAI, Anthropic.
Mark Zuckerberg says there's no causal connection between social media and teen mental health. X releases its first transparency report since Elon Musk's takeover, and reportedly, Musk decries government censorship. His X has been more compliant. Study claims, bigger AI chatbots more inclined to spew nonsense. Post-Trauma and The Alters have been delayed until 2025. Ubisoft shares surge 31% as Tencent and Guillemot family reportedly mull buyout. NFL reportedly negotiates potential deals with Alisson's Skydance and Redbird.
BBC's Boris Johnson interview cancelled after presenter Laura Quinsberg mistakenly sent former UK Prime Minister briefing notes. Reuters reports that Musk funded right-wing political nonprofit years before he endorsed Trump, sources say. Pink Floyd's David Gilmour rejects Roger Waters' reunion over support for genocidal dictators.
Painting found by junk dealer and seller is original Picasso, experts claim. Lady Gaga says her take on Harley Quinn came from her experience with mania and chaos inside. Reese Witherspoon to write debut novel, will team with Harlan Coben for a collaborative suspense. That 90s show canceled on Netflix after 2 seasons. YouTube Shorts will boost max video length to 3 minutes. Rugrats live-action movie in the works at Paramount, with CGI babies.
K-drama giant CJ to spend $750 million yearly to fight Hollywood. Margaret Qualley in Racism Row after asking Blackpink's Jennie if her blonde hair is real, as Jennie experiences racism at Paris Fashion Week as Margaret Qualley questions her blonde hair. Los Angeles prosecutors to review new evidence in Menendez brothers' 1996 murder conviction. New hearing set as DA weighs evidence of molestation amid success of Netflix's Monsters.
Christie's inaugural evening sale at new APAC headquarters amasses $133 million, with Van Gogh and Monet setting Asian records. A long-lost painting from Botticelli's studio is rediscovered in a French church. Marvel and DC lose trademark for superhero.
Chris Christopherson, country music legend and A Star is Born leading man, dies at 88. The Onion is pivoting to video, with a former MSNBC anchor. Sean Diddy Combs accused of sexually abusing 9-year-old boy as 120 people allege abuse, and Sean Diddy Combs accused of sexual assault by more than 50 victims, represented by Texas law firm.
Lionsgate offers voluntary severance early retirement program. Fox Nation to debut faith-based shows under Fox Faith brand. DC Studios developing movie involving Bane and Deathstroke from writer Matthew Orton. Apple TV Plus unveils first look at new psychological thriller, Before, starring and executive produced by Billy Crystal, premiering globally Friday, October 25th. Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim, an anime prequel with war elephants, Great Eagles and Brian Cox, gets poster visual completed. The Lord of the Rings, Battle of Rohan, will be released on December 27th. Pink Floyd agrees deal to sell music rights to Sony for $400 million. Snapchat failed to properly warn against sextortion schemes targeting underage users, claimed in the lawsuit. Pinterest rolls out Gen AI tools for product imagery to advertisers. Ireland introduces 40% tax incentive for lower to mid-range budget films, which led by Irish creative talent. Paul Smith launches new art exhibition space in Albemarle Street. At box office, Megalopolis bombs with D+ cinema score. Wild Robot soaring to number 1. Former Kia NBA MVP Derrick Rose announces retirement after 16 years. Apple rolls back its big plans to release movies in theaters. Starlink hits 4 million subscribers. Amazon tops internal $1.8 billion upfront ad goal in first year of